Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody out there, wherever you are. I hope you are having a good day. This is Coffee with Wes. I am Wes. Joining me is Will Dick from the Art of Floundering podcast. And Anthony is here from Unidentified S4. Jesus Christ, we got a
Thank
show
you.
this morning.
Thank you very much.
How is everybody this morning? How's everybody doing?
Beautiful.
Doing
Is
well,
everybody
man.
having some coffee? I not now. You're not a coffee drinker over there, Will. You're not a coffee
I
drinker, are you?
I got a bad habit, man. I used to drink green tea, but after my
Mm,
back injury, I started drinking these fucking sodas, and I gotta quit.
yeah.
I told you this last year, but it's on my list.
That's what addicts do. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
addicts do.
yeah,
They make
exactly,
lists.
exactly.
They make lists. They keep things going. They're
One
doing
day,
that.
I quit anytime I want, man. Just not
Ad-
today.
Admitting
Yeah.
you have a
Now,
problem is the first step, my friend.
Oh God.
now, what about down there? What you got going on, Car Wash Tony? What? that stuck with me all day. Car Wash Tony did. Oh, are you drinking your coffee this morning? And tell me it's something good. Tell me it's
Yeah, it's
Maxwell House.
delicious.
Maxwell House.
It's Rise Coffee, the breakfast coffee of champions.
No, I there's too many, and every joke I made was offensive. That's why they all went through my head. It was like, no, I'm not going to do any of those. I don't I don't approve of that. I don't approve of any specialty coffees. No, this is America. This is America. We need it's
America.
just a good old. We need Maxwell House. Anything beyond Folgers and well, you're just selling the country out. That's all you're doing. You're just giving it away. You're giving it away to fucking China. Rise, China. They own Rise. They own all of those Starbucks. Starbucks. They're making kids pick your beans, and they are owned by China. I'm gonna throw all that out there. This morning, rabbit. No, not boiling water. Oh, that's well. You only got to get it up to about 190 to 195 degrees. That's about the perfect temperature to pass through the coffee to give it that rich flavor. Jaden, good morning, Jaden. Good morning to Mark's gas station. I hope everybody is having a great morning. You can type hashtag awesome in the chat if you want to drop your link if you're a content creator. Andy Gambino. Andy Gambino hanging out in the crowd. Hanging out in the crowd. He's tired of coming up. He doesn't need any of this. That's oh, and look out here. What is this? What is this? Allie
Ali.
Patches. Is she's bound to have gone back to sleep. She woke up, she made those comments, and then she's gone back to bed. I just know it. Now, I was giving him a hard time, but look everybody. It's
Hey,
Andy Gambino.
there's my
It's Andy
brother.
Gambino.
There he is.
Oh.
I'm admiring Anthony's strategically placed hat.
Oh, because of his
He's
because of
muted
his
himself.
suction thing that he's got on there.
Yeah, it's still there. He ain't getting rid of that. You've muted yourself, by the way, Anthony.
Now,
Apologies.
now
I was covering the dot from the Indian girl I married yesterday.
Jesus.
that's just no. That was another one of those faux pas. It was
Yeah.
another one of those. I'm gonna go out here and oh, let's see how I can make an ass of myself on TikTok. Is that what it is? Let's see what I can.
That's exactly
Let's
what
see.
happened.
Let me jump into a TikTok moment here and see if this doesn't end well. No, and now I was before the show. I was telling Anthony about the show that they had yesterday, taking on Terrence Howard, and the scientific expert, uh, which which I nice guy, but I think I went into it with a different view. I went into it thinking this scientific expert was going to just scientifically let me know all the reasons that Terrence was wrong
Yeah.
instead of oh
Yeah,
the guy's just doing this for ego. He's
yeah.
just doing this for ego.
That was an
You know,
abuse. Yeah.
I didn't need a biologist to tell me that Terrence Howard has an ego. That was not and then the
He's not.
the creme de la creme, the moment that really made it for me at the end was when it was okay. Now we're gonna take a shot at his penis. Now we're gonna end with the
Micropenis.
biologist. You know, he was in a movie and there was a scene, I swear he's got a microphallus. It's one of those, and I thought this is a joke, right? This is a joke. He's now I'm
Hustle and
questioning.
flow.
Yeah, exactly. Is he really a biologist?
It's hard to be a
Is he
pimp with a
really?
small
I gotta-
penis.
So that was a little bit off, but it was very entertaining. It was very entertaining. I thought that was.
Yeah, who'd have thought it? A biologist with a sense of humor.
One of you guys getting swatted?
It's got to be Andy. Are you on the? Are they after you,
Are
Andy?
you on a
Was
watch
that-
list or something we need to know about, Andy?
Well, I'm on a couple, but no, you don't need to know what they are.
We don't need to know. It's nothing international. It's
I mean, come
Local,
on.
local,
It's-
local
it's-
shit. Local shit.
these are all local things. Nothing anybody has to worry about. Now the thing that we'll knock the first thing out. Presidential, and I use that fucking word so loosely. Presidential debate is this evening.
Oh, is it? What a shit show that's going to be.
Oh boy. Jokes
And,
for days, boys. Jokes for
Two old
days.
fuckers slagging each other off. I mean, I doubt if Biden will be able to get a word in edgeways.
Oh no, they're gonna turn microphones off.
Yeah, they got some
Didn't they say
rules
that
now.
last time and they didn't fucking do it, though,
I'm
did they?
pretty sure it's happening this time.
Is it Jake Tapper that's hosting it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you know, Wes, who the network is? Is it CNN
I think
that's
it's
hosting
CNN.
it?
CNN.
If it'd be if it is, it'd be Tapper then probably.
Yeah.
They got
And they
nobody
think-
left. They haven't fired.
The,
you know?
the Republicans hate Tapper, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch it, but I don't at the same time. You know what I mean? I think I'll just wait for the highlights if there is any. But you know what normally happens is, you know, they'll just be shouting over each other. We've just had one in the UK. Cheeto. He's so Cheeto coloured.
No.
I love it.
That was I actually had you covered in Cheeto dust. That was a joke that I made
That's
during
right,
that
yeah.
Oval Orifice thing where I hit. He was
Yeah,
a
I
talking
remember
ass. No, I'm not impressed by any of it. I doubt I don't even want to see the highlights.
Because
That is where it
it's
is for me.
bullshit. Because it's just bullshit. It doesn't matter. They don't change anything in a vote, right? They're not going to influence anyone's vote.
It may have at one point in time. It may have at one point in time. Have there been any real debates with the Republicans, or just the de facto you're running? Was there
yeah,
anything going on
they
with
did. They did
primaries
have-
and that?
Yeah, they had some debate. I mean, they were fucked up, but they
Trump
had
didn't want to
debates.
do it, did he? He didn't.
No,
do any
Trump
of it.
didn't participate, and it's like everybody else. It was debate, and they were like arguing over like 2% of the vote. And shit, you know. It was
But
just-
they
What can you even say tonight? Trump is a felon. Biden has amnesia. I mean, I can hear like, can somebody get me an ice cream? Can somebody clear my record? I'm gonna pardon myself. That's the shit we're gonna be hearing tonight. Stupid
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna. I mean, in the olden days, you know, they used to have respectful, intelligent conversations, debates. Could have been slightly heated, but at least they were smart and clever, and got to the point of the matter, which was, you know, the politics of the day. Now it's just accusing each other of being anti-democratic, of doing this, of doing that, and not actually getting to the number of policies. I mean, I don't know any of Trump's policies. I've heard one policy in the 4 years he's been ex-president. I haven't heard any policies personally, and I've been trying to keep an open mind on both. Does anyone know one of his policies?
He's gonna reverse everything Biden did. I know that.
That's no fucking policy. That's no fucking policy, is it? I mean, for God's sake. Who knows? It's going to be a shit show. That's all I'm going to say, and it usually is with those two.
He's gonna
Well,
double
and
it. He's gonna double the standard on deduction, making the first $24,000.
You're reading this right now, aren't you?
My
Online.
married
Oh,
couple.
shut up!
Yeah,
Shut up!
don't be
I don't want to hear.
twisting his
I don't
words.
want to
Yeah.
hear his actual. I don't give a fuck about his
Yeah.
actual policies.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about lip service any of them are planning on doing.
It's all lip
The-
service. You're absolutely right. That's
Debate
what
exactly. And we're talking about debates as though in the past, they were something of substance in
Yes.
in the past. but when we think about it, what was one of the first televised debates? The Kennedy and fucking Nixon.
Yeah.
And was it substance or was it I'm sweaty I'm sweaty Nixon looking fucking creepy and sweaty on
Yeah.
TV up against good looking Kennedy.
Young.
Was that not a substance? We like this guy. He's better than the other guy because he's smoother.
I was too young to remember that one, but I do remember the Reagan one, which was very funny.
The Reagan, the orator. That was
he was slagging off his opponent, saying something words to the effect of I'm not going to insult his age or something like that.
Lack of experience.
Yeah.
Lack of experience. When you're old as fuck.
Yeah.
Either way, whoever becomes president, we're screwed. Either way you look at it, any way you slice it.
We're already screwed. You're already screwed, right? So who do you want? One geriatric or another geriatric? One is probably more dangerous than the other, but hey, America, Britain, we've got our election on the 4th of July next Thursday.
So you'll know just how far you're leaning in what direction.
We're getting rid of the Tories. We're getting rid of the Conservatives. They're gone. Even this is probably the most not anticipated, but it's an election where we know who's going to win even before a week before. We've known for a while.
In this country they felt that about the one with Hillary. Even nobody thought. So when you say that, are you sure you're getting rid of or? Because isn't there still a lot of right-leaning stuff that is really on the rise in it is, but at least
that's
in
why
Europe in a lot of areas.
That's why it's not going to, any of the right aren't going to. It's going to be Labour that's going to win because the Conservatives, who were initially sort of centre-right, they're now just centre. It's the Reform Party with a guy called Nigel Farage, who's kind of quite racist and anti many things. He's getting a bit of a bump up, but it will be Labour because Conservatives have been in power for 14 years and just trashed. They only look after themselves. They're all about money and whenever they bring out their policy, it's always the people that are going to suffer are the people with no money. They're saying the welfare bill is costing us too much, and I'm thinking, so what about all the fucking arms and shit that you're selling to, what about all the other money that you're spending on? Why don't you stop picking on the poor and find savings elsewhere? No, but it's always the same case. The welfare state is the one that gets slammed by both parties. Come in the election.
I have to say, and I know, Andy, you're dead against Trump, but he was president. I'm on disability. I'm disabled, and the best thing that he did for people on disability, which hasn't been done in years, he immediately raised our income. It went up like $400 instantly. And you would get like $23.
Are you saying it happened right when he got into office?
Like 8 months later, he promised it, and 8 months later it happened, and we never thought it was going to happen because when you're on disability, you always get the shit end of the stick. You're like the last people they care about.
That's right. They always pick on that as being the thing that's dragging the country down. When it's it's everything else.
We pay into it. I paid into that my whole life.
That's my point.
Two jobs. Yeah, working 2 jobs.
But didn't Biden also reduce the amount of insulin and cost of insulin and stuff like that, like $35?
He made the pharmaceutical. He made things that weren't available with insurance, like name brand insulins and stuff like that. He made it readily available.
And reduce the money, the cost of it, right?
Correct.
So maximum $35.
I mean, they both did good things and they both did shit things. So I mean,
but there's one that says dangerous things too. There's one that just says he dog whistles lots of white nationalists.
I agree.
That's the thing, and that's
just saying. I benefited greatly from that one.
Yeah,
grateful for that.
Anyways. All right. Well, I'm starting to feel my blood boil. So can we move on?
We can move right on. We can move right on.
Moving along.
It's hot enough here as it is.
Light your nuts.
We'll stay kind of in a political spectrum, though. Julian Assange.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Julian Assange. Now,
Free man.
I'm assuming a free man until they take him out, walking amongst the unwashed there in Australia now. Is he?
Australia, yeah.
He says he's going to swim every day, which I'm guessing is
Crocodile. There's
probably
gonna
going to
be
set up the
drowning will be
accident.
a
It'll be a
shark.
drowning.
Yeah, shark attack.
Crocodile or shark attack is how he'll die. That's
Australia. I'm feeling a great white.
Let's
attack is coming.
send him back there. Did anybody? I really, after spending that much time
Good for him.
in embassies and the way that I really did not see him as a free man. I did not see either side motivated to have this actually happen. I was kind of surprised by
to
it.
America. That's what they said. It's
you
become an
think-
embarrassment to America. So they just, where did he go? They even put him in some kind of Pacific Island court. It's like not even in America, right? Or I don't
No,
know
an
where it
American judge is the one that got
Yeah,
it.
but where was it? It was in some
I
kind
don't
of.
know.
It was like some island somewhere. So
Do
it
you
wasn't.
think Assange promised some things like I promise not to release this, that, or the third. Just his lawyers let's just squash this. Let's get him asylum or whatever. And
I don't know. I mean, he was in.
he had a plea deal, something. I mean,
He was in Britain, British prison up until recently. He's been there for like 5 or 6 years.
I thought
Yeah. No, he's in Belmarsh prison.
Was he?
He had been in an
embassy.
the Ecuadorian
Yeah.
embassy.
And they didn't like. They
Been
got
in-
rid of him, right? Because he was fucking about, right? I
They
can't
were
remember
like-
what he was doing.
They were like, "Hey, we can't." Well, they had pressure put on them to where they had to let him go, and now he's been
Arrested
held.
to prison.
It was
yeah.
just fighting extradition and everything.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I really didn't see him coming out. That was the news when I saw that. Of course, I have avoided. I really do, I have avoided the
News.
day-to-day headlines. It's just it does no good. It does no good. to
Who's the
stay-
whistleblower in Russia at the moment?
Snowden, Edward Snowden.
I wish they'd let him back in the States or somewhere. I know some people think he was a
They'll
traitor.
never let him
this,
back
that,
in
and the
now
other.
that he's
I
in
don't
Russia.
see that happening.
Now
I
they
wanna
probably
hear-
think he gave state secrets to Russia. He's never coming back, bro. His
Yeah.
wife is Russian.
Well, I'd like him to reveal some more stuff, though. That's what would be
Well,
cool.
what can you really reveal now? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's how many years? Shit's changed.
And what
now.
happened after the last?
Yeah, nothing.
What good did it do? What good
Nothing.
did any of this do? That was the other thing that I was thinking. Did we, all this stuff that's come out? Did anything happen? Did anything other than the
Well,
people who let us know about it get
We
punished?
learned
Yeah,
that they could listen to us with our batteries out of our phones and our phones off. We know they can monitor us at any given time. We learned all of that shit. But as far as anybody stopping the government from doing it, that didn't happen. It didn't accomplish much of anything besides people
Hey.
getting informed.
Yeah. We're all still walking around with our listening devices because it makes it convenient.
Clear
I
head.
can, I can just
You know?
do things with this.
Sheeple.
It's,
Yeah,
Right.
well, it's thing is we're just pawns in this whole political game. It's we don't have any fucking say. We don't.
Is there? But does anything look like it's master plan? Does anything look like anybody's really in control of any of this?
No.
Aren't we all? We are all just waiting, and we all know what I'm going to say. We are all just waiting for AI to take over. There is no alternative future. There is no. If you think that there's actually, I had thought about I was thinking about the aliens or other life under the, if there is life that from advanced civilization from long ago that went underwater or underground or whatever and is still here. What if they're here to save us from AI? What if
I hope
that's
not.
the only? I think that's the only way. The only way AI is not the future is if there's something that comes back to stop AI from becoming our future.
So you,
Otherwise,
what you are you equating AI as dangerous as, say, a nuclear bomb or something?
I am saying AI is the determiner. I'm not going to second guess it. I'm not going to second guess. I think it's the natural order. I think it's what every species would end up being. You have to have a life form that can live that in the great this time span that it takes to make these treks across.
Yeah,
If this were a brain, you'd want that life form that can communicate with itself using quantum entanglement, no matter where in the galaxy it has gone.
yeah,
I think it's going to explore the rest of the, because all we are is the universe trying to figure itself out.
yeah.
We're nothing separate from the
We're
fucking
just meat
universe.
sacks. I mean, like AI doesn't need to breathe, doesn't need to eat. I
AI
mean,
is the Terminator Skynet. That's exactly
And
what's going to happen. The robots are going to take over from AI. Terminators are
w-
coming, boys.
well,
Done.
if it determines that we all got to be wiped out, yeah, and then it's the next step, because I never view evolution as biology. I view it as matter, and the evolution of matter would be to a more robust a mind that can actually last for millions, if not billions, to
does that
actually.
yeah, does that not make us gods if we created it?
You know, well, that's. Are you not giving some sort of pretentious title to God?
It's
I
not
mean, is
No,
that
I don't mean like
it's a
gods on
fucking.
the clouds,
I
but
mean, let's say
creators.
let
Okay,
pick
creators.
any fucking fictional character and put him up on a platform, and that's I don't yeah, call us gods. That's I don't. It doesn't
it,
mean
it
anything.
doesn't have consciousness, so it's not a life form.
Not yet, but that's
You
so.
tell me, you define your consciousness, and then tell me how it doesn't.
You really can't define
You
consciousness
can't
yet,
define
can you?
consciousness. Our philosophers aren't able to. Where does your next thought come from?
I think,
You
therefore I am. That's the classic.
that's
Yeah,
the classic. That's the classic. But it's defining it and everything else. Are we? Because all we have right here, all we are receptors. We are here to pick in waves. We
Well,
got
true,
waves
true,
of
true
energy that
story,
we've got
Wes.
detectors for.
Doctors, scientists can now detect when someone dies. They can detect this brief flash of light that's in another light spectrum that actually leaves the body, which these doctors and scientists now believe it to be your
This isn't
consciousness.
that biologist you had on yesterday, is it?
No,
This isn't
I'm
that.
dead serious. I'm being dead
I,
serious.
I would need to see the sources on that. I would need to see the sources on that. I've seen some crap stories that have had similar things, but I would
well,
need, and I don't need to see them on the show. But you can share
no, you
those with
can't. It's
me. But
illegal. It's illegal to
n-
show it on any on Wes's show. Anything.
not on my channel. I don't put any other content up on this thing. I'm not going to have those kind of problems. I am not. Nobody's going to be like, "Hey, you utilize this content." No, I didn't do shit. I'll tell you that now. It was me saying, "Fuck." That's all
I can
on my
imagine
show.
when I said, I think, therefore I am, it's going to end up being AI, therefore I am.
Well, it
Yeah,
makes sense, because we are, if we are the product of an evolutionary process, if we are as we advance our lifespans have gotten longer, our intelligence and everything, and we're storing information, and we're doing the things that AI will do better. We're designing this. I think it just makes
yeah,
sense that it would be this way.
So,
And and that's why, more than likely, if there's an advanced race out there in space, in order to have made it into space, and in order to have made it to where you can go travel the great distances, they would
yeah.
have had to go through the same computing revolution that we had. And I believe AI is the end result of a computing revolution.
So, do you think
We've got
AI
some.
is a means? Is it? Oh, anyway, go on. Sorry, because I wanted to hear
Oh,
what
I was
Anthony.
just gonna say hi to Betty and Ice Baby. Betty J Gathers is out there. Betty J. Gathers is out there.
Hey,
Bimbo
Betty.
Barbarella is out there. Peace
Bimbo
and love.
Barbara. I like that name. That's a great name.
Ice Baby, peace and love. Ian's Guitar Shack and Auntie. Yes, Ice Baby.
So Southampton University did this study with 2,060 patients, and 15 different hospitals were involved in this study, and they all came up with the same conclusion.
What was the conclusion?
That the light that leaves the body at death, that they picked up on these.
But it's not the same as the weight, that 24 gram stuff.
That's what I'm reading now. The only problem, they can't weigh it to figure out the mass of this.
But they worked out that was not, the 24 grams was due to the weight. The measurement was incorrect, right, or something. The machine,
something to that effect.
But this is a slightly different way of measuring.
That's a lot of hospitals, 15 different hospitals, over 2,000 patients.
When you say light, what kind of light are we talking about?
It's a big thing, and I only seen the story one time on TV, but
I'm curious.
The body emits this brief flash of light, fractions of a second. You die, your heart stops, and this flash of light they pick up on.
But wouldn't you think, people who are sitting by somebody's deathbed would see that happen?
No, it's in a different light spectrum.
Oh, so we can't see it then. No,
they had this special high-speed camera.
Surely that might just be releasing of energy, because that's what we're made up of, energy, right?
Some kind of atoms or molecules collide when you die.
Are people suggesting it's a soul or something like that, possibly?
Consciousness was the speculation.
Right. Yeah. Well, I like all these theories, for sure.
I would love to believe that a soul is really in your body, and then that energy leaves and it could be reborn, like reincarnation or something like that. That would be fascinating if that really happened, to find out that we actually live thousands of times over and over and over, but we just forget it when we enter a new body.
Yeah.
Let me ask, though, that's because and I always bring this up. If so, let's say reincarnation is the thing. You kind of topped out right now, right? You think, what are the odds of coming back in a better position than you're in right now with the human experience?
Or even human?
Are you gonna be an Afghani girl?
What
could your next life?
I believe that you get to experience everything: rich man, poor man, woman, gay, straight. I think you experience it all.
So the next one's gonna.
That's
suck.
when I could come back a dog. Who knows?
Oh man,
I could be licking my own asshole in my next life. You know what I mean?
I thought you were doing that already. I thought you'd mastered that already, Anthony.
I try. I'm going to have two ribs that I'm getting removed this week, so I could really get to it. It's hard.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, imagine that. The thing is, I said that. Oh yeah, I'll come back as a fly, not because I like to eat shit, but because your lifespan is like, I don't know, a day or something, and then
72 hours or something like that, and it's all over. It's a perfect life. It's a perfect life.
Perfect life.
You just, I'm gonna eat and fuck. I'm gonna eat and fuck for the next 3 days, and then
the sun came
let
up
it end.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be one of those ones that's with his legs in the air on my windowsill, that kind of thing.
It's just dead from the fucking.
Occasionally
twitching
twitching
for 3 days.
Occasionally a twitch,
and then you're coming back. Then you come.
I come back as
yeah. No, I mean, that would be just. This life alone is just bad enough. It's like really worse. I can imagine. I know there's a lot of worse lives than mine.
You want to come back as a human? Now. Do you want to come back as a human again? That's the question, right? I mean, I wouldn't mind coming back as a tree or something, and just watching the world go by for like 150, 200 years.
That would be really boring.
I had no problem with the nothingness before I existed. I got no problem with the nothingness afterwards. I got no problem with that. The nothing, the no bills, the no anything. I'm really good.
I'm
really good with all this.
Never-ending story, folks.
That's the way it needs to be. The nothingness.
But, Anthony, what would you like to come back as? Would it be like a king or a rich man or a woman or what?
I would love to come back as a filthy rich entrepreneur that just gives back.
Yeah, you become corrupt. You'll be a corrupted motherfucker by the end of it, I reckon.
Why?
Because why? Well, you know,
Money corrupts.
money
Money
corrupts.
and power.
Absolutely, yeah.
Money corrupts.
You know what? I agree with that because when I got my check from breaking my back and everything like that, and I had all that just access to all that cash. Yeah, I was a different person.
You were a bigger asshole than you were.
I wasn't an asshole, but I wanted for nothing. Like I
yeah. And then when it's gone, it's like The thing is, when you've got loads of money, you're afraid to lose it. That's another thing.
I
right?
wasn't afraid to lose it, but I mean, everybody that was around me enjoyed it with me. You know, I wasn't a stingy
You were
bastard.
generous.
Yeah, of course.
Smoke it up.
Yeah.
Smoke it up, sniff it up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Enjoy life.
It'd be a different coffee show. It'd be a different coffee show, everybody. Everybody out there, make sure that you are clicking on that like and share. And I hope everybody's having themselves a good morning. Joining me this morning, for those that don't know, Will Dick from the Art of Floundering podcast. We've got Andy Gambino down here from Andy Gambino's AI World. And various other programs like the JoJo Bone Show over on Guerrilla Gamers on Friday sometimes, and over on Unidentified S4. You're everywhere, Andy. And speaking of Unidentified S4, it's Car Wash Tony hanging out with us this morning.
Car Wash Tony, the new character. Bimbo Barbara says, I'm sure you guys have heard of astral travel.
Of course.
I actually tried to do an out of body experience because I remember buying a book many years ago and trying to see if I could actually leave my body, but I got too scared because I got too scared because I kept reading that some people couldn't get back in their bodies or some shit like that.
How you get back in?
Again, at the time I had a great body, so I was like, I cared about that. Now I'd happily leave my body.
So
was it was like a good April one year, right? And that was it. And then afterwards, it's all kind of shit.
We were discussing ketamine yesterday, and I had a full blown real deal out of body experience with that. Full blown.
Yeah, but you had one anyway when you had your
motorcycle accident.
Motorcycle,
but aside from that, I don't know. I had to be 18. I was young anyway, a teenager, late teens. We went to a club. I partying all night, came home, had a little bit of this ketamine left. I sat on my couch. I'll never forget it. Did it, small amount, sat on the couch, and all of a sudden my body left me. And I rose up through the ceiling, up into the sky, and it was so weird because I actually felt all the wind. I heard all the traffic from down below. I was basically sitting in the sky like this. Was my out-of-body experience. But I was tethered to myself the whole time.
How were you tethered? Well, you saw it?
I saw it, like an ethereal umbilical cord. And I got really scared because I'm kind of scared of heights. And the minute I scared myself, I went right back into myself like that.
Yeah, I've heard tales of that where people have had like a sudden awakening and they've gone zhunk straight back in their body.
But what confused me this whole time was how could your spirit self or whatever came out
consciousness?
How did how did it feel wind? How did it hear the traffic? You know what I mean? How did that version of me experience all that?
But do you think it could have been a dream?
No, I was wide awake, man. I'm telling you,
you could have been wide awake in your dream,
Andy. It wasn't a dream.
No, I'm just saying, it could have been. But I'm a skeptic, so I mean, I want to believe that. But
get some ketamine.
I'm just trying to think logically about what it could have been because
I have taken alcohol and pills in the past. And experienced the entire a ride from Great America that I had been on earlier that day. Lied there and telling the people in the room around me, "Oh my God, I'm on that ride. Oh my God, I'm on that." And I was on that ride in my mind, and I could feel all of the weight shifting as the ride would go over, and it was one of those with the big car that everybody's in that would keep going back and forth, and then
Oh yeah,
all the
yeah.
way upside down
Yeah.
and on a massive scale.
I-
And
That felt
and
real, did it?
you
That
actually,
felt real.
and so I had felt, oh, it was completely real, and I was telling everybody around me how, oh my God, I'm experiencing this. I'm on this fucking ride, because it was so realistic. The that's the thing about the brain. The brain is you experience reality through the interpretation of the brain. So whatever the brain, it can give you that sensation, all the time.
I just
You're
want to
able to do
clarify
it.
this because Andy confused people because somebody had said,
I confuse people.
yeah, because he was saying, "Oh, it could have been a dream." How could it be a dream if I came home wide awake on my couch, sniffed a little of that stuff, and had it?
Because you don't know what you don't know what the chemical
fall
is doing
asleep.
to your brain. You don't know what it's.
But I didn't fall asleep, so how could I be dreaming? That's the point I'm trying to make. I wasn't sleeping. I was wide awake when I did it.
So
What if
what?
you
So how
slipped
did you
into
rise out
sleep?
of? So you saw the ceiling? Could you come out your off?
I did. I was staring up at the ceiling, like, I was a little loopy, but
Yeah.
I was staring at the ceiling and I just floated up out of myself. I looked back, I saw myself sitting on the couch. I just kept rising up. It was freaky. I'm telling you, it was a really freaky experience.
I'm sure. I'm not disputing that you had the experience.
And
I'm
even
just-
weirder that I felt the wind and all of that. I did not feel myself go through the ceiling or any of that. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a
well,
really
yeah.
weird.
I'm only. Of course, I always question.
Oh, we know how you are, Gambino. We know how you are.
Yeah.
buddy.
Well, hey, not because somebody tell me.
You're the wrong one, Gambino.
Yeah.
You
I'm not
prick.
gonna let
I
somebody-
didn't fucking enjoy anything with Gambino.
I'm not letting anyone sort of convince me of their woo stuff. But I am open-minded to. No, but obviously I'm teasing. But obviously, I believe there is something supernatural. I don't know what it is, and there is no proof of any of it. So
Well, the
I always
brain
have
can
to go, I always have to
psychologically-
go back to the
In
brain.
Andy's
and biological.
defense,
Yeah.
in Andy's defense, the brain could produce everything
Trick
you
you.
just described
It can
as
trick
a
you.
Yeah,
hallucination.
I agree
The
with
brain,
that.
the brain totally can do. My grandfather in his 50s began to speak to God. Have these? He was the prophet. He spent hundreds of thousands of dollars printing up the papers that God told him what to write and everything about the 7-horse seal, and he was having just severe, the most realistic of experiences to him, but it was because of a blockage. We didn't find out till he was in his 80s that he had a blockage on from fats building up on the left-hand side. So he wasn't getting any brain to one side of enough blood to one side of his head.
Wow.
And all it takes is a little bit of blood flow change, and suddenly you think you're flying. You think you're talking to God, you're experiencing.
Yeah.
So to him, it was completely real. And to so many people, these things are completely real. But that's the brain is what gives us reality. So if the brain's off and it's reality that we're perceiving through it, because it's nothing but the brain is how we're perceiving reality.
Absolutely.
So the brain can substitute whatever it wants at times with reality. It has all that.
And we all know
all that
our eyes can play
capabilities.
tricks on us and shit.
100%.
And that's brain related as well. So there's, the brain, we only know a very small portion of what it can do. And if you add a bit of ketamine to it
man.
or whatever,
It really did.
Now, Will D has done the ketamine. You've had those experiences with the ketamine.
You got to know exactly what I'm talking about, then, Will.
Quite a few, yeah, yeah, and it's a trip. I mean, I've had exactly what you were talking about, Anthony. But a lot of times, I felt like I was cracking the simulation code. I was convinced that this is a simulation, and they were getting ready to just reveal all the secrets to me right in the middle of that trip.
Yes. Yes. And with the weirdest thing about it, you float around when you'll float around. You could be watching a TV that's 2 inches by 2 inches, and it'll expand into a movie theater size television. All weird shit like that happens on this chemical. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The weird
Ah.
thing is that I flatlined twice in my journey.
Really?
Yeah.
Ketamine?
No.
No, it's
Just-
accident.
Yeah, accidents.
Okay.
But very similar feelings. It's hard to put it into words, but there's something ketamine does to me where it's almost like you're in a cocoon. It's almost
Yes.
like if you've ever watched native indigenous babies, they're all wrapped up in those things. That's what I feel like. I'm in one of those fucking
Shit,
things.
yeah.
Like
Swaddle.
you're
And very
Yeah.
similar to my flatline experience I was in this cocoon kind of thing. So it's kind of a trip, but like you said, Wes, I mean, goddamn Alzheimer's is like just a diabetes, it's so God only knows what biological reasons it's happening, but it's a trip. That ketamine is something else, man.
Let me ask you another question. When you did ketamine, did
Mm-hmm.
your hearing intensify?
I don't remember that as much, but I tell you, Anthony, one of the things that would happen to me was my brain was fried. I mean, just absolutely fried. I couldn't think straight. I would sleep for like 20 hours. I don't know if that's what happened with you.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was, and I
Took a
tried
lot
doing
out of
it.
you.
I tried, because I went for pain. I tried doing it like 2 times in 1 week, and holy fuck. You just can't. It's a lot on the head, man.
It
I don't
is.
know if mushrooms are that way, but holy shit, ketamine is rough, man.
Shit.
It is.
Yeah, I've never taken ketamine. I had friends when I used to go raving with my friends, raving, but yeah, they would just be bumping, ketamine all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking a bump. I never tried it once. I've tried plenty of other stuff. It's just ketamine. I just didn't want to go near. Is it addictive? Is it addictive?
No.
No.
I mean, well, I can't imagine it being addictive. I mean,
Probably psychologically. I mean, they were taking it every fucking day. It would seem they
It makes
they
you
seemed
feel
addicted
great.
to it.
It makes you feel great.
They
But
just,
I mean, you could go without it. I mean, it's not. It's
I don't
not
know
like
if they could
heroin or anything.
I don't know
like
if they
that.
could have gone without it. If I'm honest, they were big time and I always remember ketamine
enjoyed
being they used to give it to horses.
yeah,
and
it's like
shit.
a horse tranquilizer.
It is.
I-
It's an animal
when I was in the
tranquilizer.
army, because the horse strength ketamine, these guys they got arrested because they were just consuming lots of horse ketamine.
But if I may,
And they were jailed.
I know a lot about this. The bigger the animal strain of ketamine, the weaker it is for a human. So if you get ketamine that's for a cat, that will be the strongest. If you took ketamine for a water buffalo, it's like the weakest shit you ever took in your life. It's horrible. It's
Why?
garbage.
Why
It-
is that then?
It's,
That doesn't make
it's
sense.
weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but
Yeah.
it's truthful. I've literally done 30 different strains of this stuff. Literally.
And this was while you were in the police force.
No, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, man.
That's
I've done it. Listen,
fucking
nine-
New York cops, man.
after 9/11, my doctor was treating me with that for PTSD. Ketamine.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if it helps.
That's why I know that
yeah.
it's not a registered narcotic. It does not come up on a urine or a blood test. I know that because I was doing it, having a doctor administer it.
Yeah.
And then, I would do it I would have the doctor do it if I was on a 2-week vacation or something. I would go get it done. And it was working for me. Sometimes they would put music headphones. I would listen to music and 20, 30 minutes and it really, the benefit, now they have a whole program called Mind Bloom today, but the benefits of it back then were really helpful for me. I was in a really traumatic state after the Trade Center came down and I was down there for 2 years. I was all fucked up, man. I was a mess. I was a mess.
Yeah. And what Shelley is saying, she had scarlet fever at the age of 10,
Oh, man.
and she hallucinated an orb in the room. DMT is supposed to open. Yeah, I've had
heard that.
DMT,
I've
but
heard
I've
that.
had probably, I don't know what it was, a combination of DMT and.
Oh, you smoked DMT, didn't you, Andy?
I had a vape stick, which was DMT, and I don't know if it was. Obviously, it wasn't the best because it kind
You
of
bought
made
this
you.
in an alley, didn't you? You just bought this off black market
found it in
fucking
an alley.
alley. Found
it
in an
found
alley.
it in an alley.
Yeah.
And so I bought it. I think it was about 80 quid or something, £80, and I would take it at the rave. But I don't know. It just got me high, but it was not like the real DMT where you can. There's many stages to DMT. You can go through many doors to get to the place where these creatures are supposed to
Yeah, we
reside.
covered that on the show, you and I, Andy. That was
Yeah,
a
we
great
did.
show. But back to Wes's point, because I watched the Joe Rogan experience where his friend actually did DMT live on the
Oh yeah, I
show.
remember that. Yes.
And this fucking guy thought that he was an aquatic creature that was living underwater for like 6 months. This
Yeah.
whole experience took like 12 minutes on the show, but he thought he was
was
living
there
on
for
in
6
that
months.
12 minutes. He thought he was gone for 6 months, and he had become aquatic. He thought that he grew gill slits on the side of his throat,
Jesus.
and when he was coming out of it, he couldn't breathe. He couldn't breathe air. He was choking on the show because he couldn't breathe air. He was trying to. He's coming down off this trip, and he's trying to adapt from breathing water to breathing air. It was crazy. So back to what Wes was saying, how it can manipulate the brain, how powerful your brain is, and what Andy was saying, you are right. You know, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the experience that you have.
I'm sure it was wonderful.
So real.
Yeah, I'm sure it was amazing and life changing to a point, right? But
Absolutely.
yeah, but it's well, and also we do. I think we've mentioned this before. There's a young doctor who's studied DMT and discovered that we produce it in our brains, and his question is, why do we produce it in our brains? What's the purpose of it?
Some people feel that it's like, I think it was on Rogan that, you know, there's the one theory that it gets released right at death is a way to, like, you know, quote, open the door to the next whatever all that means.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But
you know, I guess we all think it's all going to be wonderful and stuff if there was such a place after death and stuff.
Well,
but you don't know what you might.
it could be a fucking
yeah,
intergalactic chain gang, man. I mean, you know, we'd be like that movie Sausage Fest. We're all looking forward to it. And next thing you know, we're getting grinded up and shit.
Yeah, we might meet some of those secret space soldiers, and we'll feel really stupid for not believing them.
I had that motorcycle accident when I was 19, and I died on the scene. I flatlined twice myself.
Yeah.
And I crossed over, and I ended up in a field, just like floating over this beautiful field. And I had this whole experience that was, I don't know, just I met somebody that died when I was an infant and had a full conversation with this person. And then came back, and like my mom, we're going through all these photos. And everybody knows I keep the picture right here on my desk of the guy.
That's who you met, right? Yeah, you didn't know who he was.
And I found out it was my godfather because I was going through pictures with my mom, and that's the guy I'd seen when I died. I couldn't believe it, man.
But you said you hadn't seen him before that picture. Before.
I was 9 months old when he died. I've never seen that picture before.
No, you said it was stuck between two other pictures.
Yeah.
So you never saw it. Yeah, which is
my grandfather tells me that I make it to the third heaven.
What's that?
I found out there are 3 different levels to heaven.
Holy shit!
The
are you
third heaven,
Mormon or something?
I am. This was revealed to him. I don't know when it was revealed or anything else. He tells me in the third heaven, you just travel along between your wives. You show
this
up
is Mormon
with
shit.
this wife
Dude, this
and
is
the
Mormon.
Was he a Mormon?
He ended up becoming like Seventh Day or something along those lines.
Well,
but,
it's all around that part. It's all close.
He would put signs out in the front yard, big signs that he built on wood with Sunday worship is as false as hen's teeth. You could tell the purity of a woman by the muscle down. There were several. They burned the signs. People would
and you
come
would let
out.
him paint this.
No, he was, but you know, you couldn't tell Grandpa not to do something. But he tells me I make it to that third heaven. So I got that going for me. I'm not
Yeah.
really.
Did he
I'm
tell
not
you
really
what?
worried about the future. It's
What was
it's
the
That's the
first
already been
celestial kingdom,
revealed.
dude.
Did he
That's where
explain
you'll-
what the 3
you'll-
stages, 3 levels were?
I don't know what the other two are. Why would I need to? I make
He's
it to the
happy with the
third.
wife, floating
I,
around between
I've
wives. He's
got.
good.
I'm
You
just
don't
you
need to
lay
know
with this
anymore.
wife and then
Yeah,
you,
but
you
it-
go on to the next and you
You
just
don't
kind
need
of
anymore.
He said you make it to the 3rd one, but he didn't tell you there were 50 more.
well, no, he didn't let me
My,
in on
my
any
poor
of that.
grandfather, my poor grandfather had what they called shell shock in World War II.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he had to get a lot of
PTSD now. Yeah,
he had
it's
to get
PTSD.
he got a lot of electroshock therapy, and
Oh,
the only
fuck.
memories I have of my grandfather, he was a great guy. He loved us, but he was sick. He would go outside, put his headphones on, listen to Frank Sinatra, and just bake in the sun. My grandfather was as black as this phone. You
Wow.
couldn't. The minute the sun came up, he was out in his lawn chair. He didn't come in till the fucking sun went down, and all he did was listen to Frank Sinatra. And then at night, he would go in the little spare room, sit at the window, listen to Frank Sinatra, and he would tap on the windowsill with his drumstick, because
Oh, wow.
he was all fucked up. But he
Oh,
was a great guy. We loved him, but it's a shame what people go through.
Well, that's right. I mean, PTSD, which was, isn't it? It was what they called it, shell shock at the time, right? I mean,
right.
it's the same thing. Yeah. Do they give you ketamine for PTSD? Do they?
They do now, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I know
they
that they
should
give
for
you like
ketamine.
other,
They give you mushrooms now too.
mushrooms, ketamine,
Weed,
LSD.
no
Yeah.
LSD.
Huh?
Not
No.
in Kentucky. You get Jesus.
You get
It's, you need
Oh, you
help.
get Jesus, yeah.
You need help. You get Jesus in Kentucky.
Jesus is gonna heal
that's
you,
the way
boy.
it goes. We don't do that medicine stuff here. You got to go elsewhere for that.
Well, I always say mushrooms is LSD though, isn't that the case?
No, it's
No.
not.
Psilocybin is the active ingredient in these in the mushrooms, the psychotropic ingredient.
Psilocybin. Yeah.
LSD is lysergic. What is it? It's an actual chemical.
But it doesn't have the same effect though. I thought because
No, one's man-made.
No,
and
but
one's
I've had
natural.
both mushrooms and I've had LSD, and they're both the same effect. You get the same
I don't know where
hallucination.
you're getting your shit from. but
You can get hallucinations from a fever.
You
Yeah,
hallucinate?
so a lot of
But not
different
the same
things.
way.
It's been different for me.
Is
Of
it-
course, the LSD. Can I actually say that I've had LSD and not just strychnine put in dryer sheets? That's
Quite
probably
possible.
more than
Nine
anything.
says-
Yeah.
Well, that's why
Strychnine?
it's fucking rat poison. Most of the stuff that you end up getting on the street, you're gonna end up getting rat poison soaked
Yeah.
in dryer sheets.
Really?
That's yeah. It's not the actual acid, because if you're ended up with a really bad stomach ache and shit like that afterwards
I did.
from it, it's strychnine. It's rat poison.
Acid was the first drug I ever tried. I was 16 years old, and I was with this beautiful girl, and out of nowhere she came and she's like, I want to try acid this weekend. Can we try acid? And I was so dead against drugs. No fucking drugs. No way. You're a whore. We're not doing drugs, you bitch. It's not happening. That's disgusting. So anyway, I went and bought 4 tabs of acid, not knowing how much acid I was supposed to take. And she broke up with me the night before we were supposed to do acid. She cheated on me. So I went and took all 4 tabs of acid.
You what?
I took all 4. First time I ever tried a drug, I
Holy
took 4
shit.
tabs of acid at once.
Fucking
Oh,
smart,
God.
man. You
And
weren't smart then
my
either.
friends, I stood at my 2 friends' house, Mike and Bobby Walsh. I'll never forget this because their parents were away at Villanova on vacation. And I ended up on the boardwalk having a full conversation with a telephone pole for like 6 hours about how the electricity travels through wires and shit. I'm trying to explain this to them, and they're just like, you're out of your fucking mind. But I had a full-blown 6-hour conversation with a telephone pole about
So-
electricity.
You had somebody there keeping an eye on you, did you?
Yeah, my friends did the best job they could do. They shaved my fucking head.
They must have been
My
really,
They took my eyebrows off. It was bad.
really
But-
entertaining.
but-
Yeah.
I did that then, and then when was it? A year or 2 ago, I went up to Spruce Pine with Long Island Bigfoot
Yeah.
and Tom Reed and a bunch of other guys, and we're camping in the woods, and the kid's like, I grow my own magic mushrooms.
Shrooms, yeah.
And I'm like, bullshit. And he pulled out, when I tell you, like a 1 pound Ziploc bag, pillow packed with these blue and purple mushrooms. And I'm like, man, you know, I really never did mushrooms before. You know, what are you gonna feel like? It's like, oh, you're gonna feel beautiful, man. It's great. I said, all right, give me some. He gives me a bunch in my hand, a handful. So I started eating them one by one, caps, stems, and they tasted disgusting.
Yeah.
After I'm done ingesting all of these, he goes, I think you took a lot for the first time, a handful. Within about 50 minutes, I'm looking at the sky in my Psionics night vision camera, and I thought the fucking stars were falling back to Earth. Then I
Yeah.
grew up, and I couldn't even make it back to the tent. I'm taking my shirt off. I'm throwing the cameras. I'm like, get this shit out of here. I get back to the tent, and that was the never do shrooms in the woods a lot.
Or never do shrooms when you're fucking Sasquatch hunting.
Sasquatch
When you're Bigfoot hunting.
In the middle of the woods in South Carolina in the summer, sweltering heat. So now I'm in my tent, and the other two idiots are tripping balls by the fireplace. And Long Island Bigfoot's walking around smoking cigarettes behind my tent, and I think Bigfoot's out there. And I'm bugging the fuck out. Mike, is that you? No, it's Bigfoot. Don't come out of your tent. About 4 hours goes by, and I unzip the tent to peek out. And what's sitting there right in front of me is this fucking purple alien wearing a black robe. And it was a little guy, and I shit myself, zipped the fucking tent back, and for the next 12 hours, I did not come out of that tent. I was curled up in a ball, tripping balls. I thought they looked like, I was calling them disco spiders. They looked like disco balls, but they were spiders crawling all over the tent. I had a bad experience on those mushrooms.
Yeah, that's not
I don't know if I took too much or what, but it was bad, man.
It sounded
Bad.
like you took too much.
It's something with-
That's-
Oh,
Bad. And
you were just in
they're
the wrong
fucking with me.
place.
Mike's putting his hands on the tent, coming in like he's trying to grab me from the outside, and they're telling me, "Don't come out, it's Bigfoot." And I'm really believing that
Oh,
Bigfoot's out there,
that's
man.
mean. That's mean of them to have done that, especially your
It
first
was-
time.
it
But
was
if you were in
bad.
a different location, in a different environment, you'd have probably loved it. But
I
not
think
in the
they-
woods looking for Bigfoot and taking them for the first time. It's
I
probably
think
not the wisest.
I think because they tortured me, I had a bad experience. You know what I mean? It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
But
It
yeah,
shook me.
you should always take them with trusted people that you know, which you were with, but they decided to fucking wind you up.
They really wound me up good, man. It was bad. It was a,
Well,
it was a
that
bad
kind of
16
doesn't
hours.
that negate their trustworthiness if they do that? I mean, what you thought were trustworthy people ended up fucking with you. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I
That-
knew Mike,
that's-
but the other two guys I had just met for the first time because they were the camera company and shit. You know, we were
Yeah.
camping with them, and man, what a really bad experience I had.
Mhm.
That was rough.
Mm.
Yeah, don't take a lot of mushrooms in the woods, kids.
Never
Don't
in the
take a
woods,
lot
no.
of, especially when you haven't had them, and it's like that's too many, guy.
In a
That-
strange
you
woods.
just-
In a
think
strange
you
place.
just had,
After I ingest
like
them,
the
I
most acid
think
I've ever
you-
seen anyone
think
take,
you
man.
took too many, dude.
I mean, I know for a year or two in the 90s, I had like a sheet of, I think it's Hoffer or Hoffman, the guy that invented LSD or whatever. I don't remember.
The actor Seymour Hoffman.
No, it's the actual scientist that made the fucking LSD. You know, in the lab, whoever the guy was. Anyway, they had pictures of him.
Was
on.
it Bill? What was his name? Was it Bill? Was it Bill?
Bill Hoffman? No,
Jim. Was it Jim?
Seymour
I
Hoff.
don't fucking know. I don't remember.
Maybe it was. Maybe it
Somebody
was.
will know in the chat. But
Did he have
I
a
was-
nickname? Did he have a nickname that he went by?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay.
Albert.
Okay.
Albert, thank you, Shelley. That'll do.
Albert, that'll
Albert.
work. We will go with Shelley. Shelley,
Good
you were
job,
the winner.
Shelley,
If we're
good
going
job,
with that one.
Shelley.
You got a sheet
Albert
of
Hoffman.
acid.
There you go. Albert Hoffman.
Albert
you go.
Hoffman.
And I was just taking every day. I'd have an acid
Did he
tab.
go by Al or was it? Did they call him Albert or Bert?
I'm gonna
What
stop.
was?
Prince Albert.
No.
Prince
You
Albert,
had
Prince Albert.
you had a sheet of acid. You had a sheet of acid. Keep going.
Yeah, and no, because you've ruined it now.
No, come
No, I
on,
haven't.
come on.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
No, no,
Come on,
no.
keep going.
But I was cutting. I was taking like I don't know, a quarter every couple of hours, which was I highly recommend a small amount. Highly recommend, but I didn't realize that it was folded over. So actually, I think I was
double dosing.
when I was cutting them. I ended up realizing I was probably taking a whole one every couple of hours, and that really fucked me up. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it really fucked me up because I was doubling the dose that I thought I was taking every time.
Now, is it true that if you take 3 hits of acid within a lifetime, they consider you legally insane? Because I've heard this before. Is this
How do
true?
they know if you've taken 3 hits of?
That's how they register it. I was told that if you take 3 hits of acid within your lifetime,
Well, I'm considerably
you
insane.
could be legally insane.
And
Is
where's-
that true, or is that just a bullshit thing?
Well, if
I would
we're-
say
if
bullshit.
that's the case, yeah.
I did. You know, it's really reassuring that that is so that just and you were a law enforcement. You're just going out there with no knowledge at all.
I'm not a
just-
narcotics
just-
cop. I don't know
it's
anything
just-
about that.
Oh
stuff.
my God, no, it's. I
He
don't
only
think that
took
has
the
anything.
drugs. He
I only
didn't
took them.
actually.
I didn't go, you know.
You guys are just terrible with the drugs. You and the sheet, and you're taking like what? How much? I had no idea. I thought here I was the one with the problem. I thought all this time
I
was the
don't
one
see it
with
as
the
a
problem.
problem.
I don't
Now-
see that as a
I've never seen
problem.
it as a problem.
Exactly, and that's exactly you're pointing it out even worse. It only gets worse.
Heroin, and crack should be banned. Everything else is fair game. If it came from Earth, it's all right. If it could be grown,
Everything else, everything.
Yeah.
That now, you had said that you got the PTSD and you started all this, and it made me think of something after 9/11 because of your experience down there with 9/11. Incidentally, I quit smoking weed after 9/11.
really.
Holy shit! Why?
Because I figured if I were wanting to actually create terror, the black market drugs, poison, because we had seen
poison the
the
drug.
cutaneous, we had seen the anthrax stuff, right? We had seen, and it was, well, you go after the drugs. If I were doing this and I wanted to really have an
Too much money
uncontrollable,
involved.
you can't freaking monitor this. Let's attack the, and I thought, I'm going to hold off for a while. I'm going to hold off on
How was
smoking
that
for
for
a
you,
while. And
Wes? How was it for you?
How was
it
that?
sucked. It
Yeah.
sucked. It completely sucked. Luckily, I was living down in Florida near the beach, within walking distance of the beach and the bar there. So I was able to substitute Corona and pizza. I was able to drink a lot of Coronas at the beach and
But you
have
get
some
fatter.
pizzas.
You just got fatter then.
Oh, I
right?
got fatter. Yes, that was
Yeah.
the thing. It was. I'm gonna sit back.
You
get
should have
fat.
taken the slimming aid.
I don't
like,
think they'll
like
let-
speed.
Can I offer you some iced coffee to clean the
Oh,
digestive?
you and your damn rice coffee. No, everybody. No, this is a Maxwell House program. This is Maxwell House. We
That's right.
don't do that.
That's-
None of that rice crap here, everybody. None of that rice crap here.
I forgot what I was going. Oh, I don't think they would corrupt the drugs, the narcotics. There's too much money involved. Stop
I'm
killing
just-
people.
Well, being a thinking person, and if I wanted to really throw a wrench into a society, do it at that black market level. That's in the if it's going through that, it really makes it harder for law enforcement and for everything else to keep tabs on any of it. So it was more my own mastermind. Well, what would I do? I'd do that. I'm going to ease up for a while. I'm going to ease up on buying anything. Because it was all black market. This was, there weren't, everybody wasn't fucking legal. You didn't have all this fucking legal states that you have now and all that. So that's what I figured would happen.
They add fentanyl now, Brandy, because it's a cheaper substitute. The only problem with fentanyl is it's measured in micromilligrams, and other powdered narcotics are measured in grams. So when you're trying to substitute one for another, you can't cut fentanyl with any other narcotic because it's you only very little. That's why they screwed that up, and so many people died. It's
And
a
also,
shame. It's so
Mark's
cheap too.
Mark's gas station said he just before COVID he microdosed on for about 2 months for depression. Oh, what was that? LSD or what?
Probably
I would
mushroom.
I would guess on shrooms. I would be
Shrooms.
that's what I see people doing the micro dosing. The
Okay.
zero point 0.1 to up to I think 0.5
And
of a
what is that
gram.
going to do?
Uh, it you don't get. I did get a little bit of a feel around the zero point 0.3 to 0.35. You're not
Yeah.
having huge hallucinations or anything, but if you do lay down, you can kind of go on that journey where you're just letting your mind kind of take you. But
Yeah. But it's
it
very good for creative. I mean, like I said, there are companies in Sweden that allow their employees to take microdoses because it's apparently really good for them to
it
concentrating on
it's
on.
supposed to open up some pathways. It works with the brain and with depression. I know that there are different things that they are experimenting with to different treatments to
Yeah.
kind of get you there, like the ketamine, like just trying to find something to work on the brain. And micro dosing apparently has a number of benefits and
Yeah.
is used
But
against battle
creativity as
depression and all
well.
that. Mark, was did it work? Were you? Was it helping? Was it helping?
Yeah.
Did if you're still hanging out?
Can I say hello to Jimbo? Good to see you. Keep your
Jimbo,
eyes on
that's
the
what I
road,
was
mate.
bringing up.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Good morning. Thriller James. Oh, so
Yeah.
so Sunday, you guys are doing your big show. You guys are doing your big.
Don't big it up like that. But we're doing our show, yeah.
Well, yeah, this isn't
Our
this.
big show.
What
That's
a great
There-
partner I got, man. He just
I
fucking.
know this isn't this a big kind of because you guys haven't
Yeah,
you
the
haven't
return.
been doing the lives.
The
It's kind of a
return, yeah.
return, right? So
Yeah.
that's a big thing. That's a big thing. Is that going to be at your normal 6 p.m. Eastern time
No.
on a Sunday, or is it a different
12 noon.
12 noon? 12 noon. Glad I asked because anybody who was used to Sundays would have been used to that
Yeah,
later time and
that's
all
right.
that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take you're gonna expose some stuff. You got some.
Well, we're just going to discuss the whole secret
Secret
space
space
program.
program and how it's bullshit, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is. We've like I said, we've interviewed. Me and someone else actually. Anthony wasn't around at the time. Interviewed a so-called secret space, but everything he said was just shit, rubbish, nonsense.
It's insane.
He couldn't explain any question I asked him. He would deflect, change the subject slightly,
They all
and none of it made sense. Like I said, I would say, well, what about all the people around you? He said, though, we used to sit in barracks, like dorms with all the other guys, and they're all. And he also said that what did he say, that they don't take trained military people. They don't, the secret state. Why wouldn't you take if secret space soldiers did exist, they would want someone trained. He said, no, they just take anyone. They don't want
Any old
soldiers
person.
because they have a certain way of thinking or some
First
shit.
of all, the United States government can't keep a secret about anything, okay? So I highly doubt there's a secret space program. It's definitely not. There's definitely not, okay? And I highly doubt if there was, they would want you coming back telling the world that it existed. You know what I mean? It makes no sense.
I'd like to get another secret space program, got a so-called secret space soldier to come on the channel again. But after the show
Now-
we do on Sunday, they probably won't come anywhere near
Now
us.
your Sunday show. Will there be drugs and or alcohol involved in the show?
No.
No,
No. So both of you are going to show up sober.
As
we
a
always
bird.
this
we've
show.
always done. We only go on your show and Gorilla Gamers show.
And JoJo's.
And JoJo's
I mean,
on some kind of narcotic.
Yeah.
But our show, no, we try to just keep a straight head.
Car Wash Tony's drinking mushroom coffee. I mean,
No.
he's doing mushroom coffee. Tell me,
How's your ass?
It
How's
percolates
your
Yeah.
just like the coffee, my friend. It percolates just like.
I know Anthony's. It's a good laxative for Anthony, apparently. I just hope.
Thanks
You
for
got
sharing
that.
my bowel movements, Andy.
Yeah,
I should-
I'm knocking it, but I've never tried it, so it's
I
unlikely
should
I ever
send
will.
Mark's gas station over to I Love Weed Live at 9 p.m. and I know there's somebody that is able to supply and ships psilocybin,
Oh, yeah.
a trusted mushroom grower and everything. So I Love Weed Live 9 p.m. is when they normally have their lives. I can't remember if it's Harley, if it's the I think Harley might be it, but Hurtin' Hippie might be it.
I thought it was
there's a guy.
Yeah, I thought it was the other guys from I Love Weed. What's his name? Troy, is it? Troy and
Well, Troy knows the guy.
okay.
Troy
so-
knows the guy who can who gets.
So, yeah, you better go into the channel.
If
and
if
check
you
them out.
ask in the chat and say, "Boy, I sure would like to be able to find some psilocybin or mushrooms,"
They'll hook you
Troy will be like, "Oh, contact me afterwards. Hit me up, and
Yeah.
I can put you in touch with someone."
Shelley
Tony-
brings up a great point.
Tony Rodriguez.
Now, the funny
So-
thing about Tony Rodriguez is his grift is he's not soldier material, so he turned himself into the secret space program maintenance guy. So,
Yeah, he mopped the
Even with
floor.
20 in back regression to be the maintenance guy in space. And then
Yeah.
he talks about these planets having train systems, railroad systems that take them back and forth. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
When's
Yeah.
the comic book coming out, buddy?
There's so many fantastical, delusional stories about the secret space program. It's. I don't know how anyone can keep a straight face when they talk about it. really
I don't know
can't.
how you can do a program without doing any alcohol or drugs. That's what I want to get back to. How are you not doing
Why
alcohol
is
and drugs
this
when you're
not
doing a live? It's
'Cause
a
we're-
Sunday
we're-
midday program.
I
We're
need
well
my
disciplined.
brain. I need my
We're
brain
well
power.
disciplined.
I need
Oh,
the
no,
little
no,
brain power I have for the show. The
Yeah.
little I have, I need.
See, we don't want to compromise our show, so we come on your show and other
Yes,
people's shows
yes.
to
We compromise there.
compromise.
I'm looking to take. Yes, Serpo, Shelley. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. You're absolutely right. Thank you. I'm looking to take Unidentified S4 totally different direction. And Wes, you know where we're in.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know
yeah.
where we're going, and that's where the show's going to
He
finally.
knows where we're
land.
headed.
You know where we're headed. That's where we're going to finally land. That's going to be
To the stars and back.
the stars and back.
To the stars.
There's
to
some
infinity
amazing.
and
In about a
beyond.
month or so from now, there's going to be some amazing shit coming to the channel. So just get ready.
I'm the skeptic. Anthony isn't. He's the positive. I'm the negative.
Yeah.
So yin
I
and
think
yang.
they knew
We
that
should-
without you even telling them that.
I
Andy.
know. I don't
think
need
they
to
knew
tell
that.
them. They can work that out themselves.
Okay, so I have a question, unrelated. I have to be on a musical festival, a country music festival. Is it along with playing the guitar? Because I'm going to have my acoustic out to do some stuff. Do you think it's of a benefit for me to do ham bone?
Why not?
Have we got a washboard or a
That-
banjo?
Play
No,
the
I
spoon.
don't have a washboard or banjo, but I can do the ham bone. Is
You
it
can
a
play the
benefit
spoons.
to do
Is
it
it?
or
Are you
not?
good at it?
Can't
Can-
play the spoons. Can't play.
you good at that?
I mean, if the camera angle, I could, I can go back and
Go
forth
for it.
between the
Country.
legs. But
Anything.
should I? Does it fall under country or
Hell
just
yeah.
I have
more
no idea.
serious?
I have no idea.
That's why I'm asking. That's
I-
why I'm
I
asking
think so.
everybody out there. Should I do the ham bone for the country music fest, or
Absolutely.
just stick with music?
Or just the bone.
Maybe some barefoot dancing. Maybe do an outdoor
guitar,
interpretive
you know.
dance thing.
It has to be line dancing, doesn't it, or something?
Dilty do round and round. Grab
Oh.
your partner and twirl around.
I did not look it up, but I saw the most interesting meme. And if it's because everybody shares things as though they could be true, and let's just do that with this.
Yeah.
It said that the reason, and we were talking about square dancing the other day, the reason everybody had to learn square dancing in schools, in public schools, was because Henry Ford thought it was a good way to battle the influence of jazz on the youth. That was what I saw. It was Henry Ford had decided to push that for the public schools. That's why we all got taught square dancing in public
I'd rather
schools.
jazz than fucking like square dancing. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, Henry Ford, though. I mean, he had his opinions. Henry
He
Ford.
certainly did, yeah.
He brought us the weekend and the the hey, you can do this and other thing. He's
And I told you about Kellogg's, right?
What about him?
Cornflakes.
the guy with the. I mean, they made the whole movie about him.
Well, when they made the mattresses in the, and filled them full of cornflakes to stop, so the young boys couldn't masturbate because they'd hear them, the crunching of the cornflakes in the mattresses.
Oh,
Andy, where do you get your
had
where do you
not
get your
heard
information, Gambino?
When I last took LSD. No, it's you. You check it out. Google it.
You know how you can masturbate in a Kellogg's bed without getting caught?
No.
You add milk.
Well, you're working. I was working on that.
You just add milk, bro.
That's what
maybe you guys should think about adding drugs and alcohol to your program. I just, have you ever considered it? I mean, it kind of works.
Yeah, it was his employees, young employees. He built like Cadbury's. They built, towns and shit like Kellogg's did. And to stop them from masturbating, the mattresses were filled with cornflakes. That's what they were originally made for, not for cereals, apparently.
What kind of fucking monster do you have to be in this world to think your job is to stop others from masturbating?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What kind of fuck goes out of their way to intrude on somebody's life in that area? That has always gotten to me. That is
he was a weird dude, Shelley.
Kellogg's, he was weird.
Yeah, I mean, who made him the jerk off police?
Yeah.
Who made him the jerk off police? There we go. Mr. Andy Gambino. We need that on a t-shirt. And with your name under.
Kellogg's
Who made him
logo.
the jack off police? Who made him? That's gonna be your thing. You should.
New T-shirts coming out. Who made him the Jackalope Police and Car Wash Tony?
There you go, Car Wash Tony. Oh my God, I have been thinking about Car Wash Tony. Hey, no, you don't understand, Car Wash Tony. Oh, come here, honey. Oh, we're gonna clean those bumpers right now. Just get on over here, Car Wash Tony's gonna bring it. Here, let me get those eyes.
Hey, Will, are you standing up? Oh, I just
I'm having problems sitting.
Back.
Yeah, so I'm standing.
I thought you'd raised your chair. Quite high, that's all.
Hey,
What kind of chair you using, Will?
This is a standing desk, but the chair's over here.
Oh, did your desk raise and lower?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've seen
That's
them.
what Janine
Yeah,
has.
they're very
Janine
good.
has that upstairs.
Yeah, it's nice.
I bought one of these lazy boy chairs for my back. Best thing I ever got, man. Prior to that, the other chair, I was standing up constantly like you, fixing myself. But this chair got it's nice. It's comfortable. Every now and then I'll have to lift myself and readjust, but that's about it.
Shit.
I think the right move to do right now is to say, hey, we've gone almost an hour and 20 minutes. Let's call this fucker a day. Let's wrap this bitch up. I'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow night, hoping for Fry Rendezvous Day at 9 p.m. to return. Steven Azura, Karen may appear at some point in time. Karen may be coming around for a rant here at some point in time. Maybe tonight. I don't know.
And Frank is still recovering, isn't Frank? Still recovering.
Frank got picked up right as he was being released. It was ugly. It's an ugly fucking scene. Well, that motherfucker, he gets out. He gets out. First, he drops his weed. He drops his fucking weed on the ground in a fucking puddle. It all got wet.
Did he get wet? Oh, fuck.
It was all he had. It was all he fucking had, too. And that ruined his day. And then he mouthed off to one of the officers outside of the place, and they just took him right back in. His son was crying. His son may appear. Frank Jr.
Oh, his son. Okay.
Daddy died. Daddy was supposed to get out of jail. No, that this small piece of shit. That's the thing. It's not the right size. It's too small. We'll see where that leads. We'll see where that leads. I know you guys. The next thing coming up is Sunday at noon. Sunday at noon on
And
Unidentified.
Friday night, Andrew's on.
Andrew Rathowitz. That's Andrew Rath on our channel. He does a bi-weekly show.
Oh yeah.
So make sure you are connected to. If you want to drop links or anything, go ahead and feel free to do that. Everybody out there. I hope all of you are having a wonderful, wonderful week, and I hope Friday's going to be looking good for you. What do you got going on there, Wildy? I know you've done some of those late night, and I love them. Those you maybe do one of those later. Or
yeah, just stuff like that, and Gary's on Saturday. New release every Tuesday, and whatever happens, So looking forward to the weekend. Looking forward to tonight. I hope to see. Karen go on a rant. I was kind of looking for Frank last night.
Well, it's. Had you seen? It's
can't get his hand up in.
It's too small.
Oh, is it
the puppet? I'm really kind of disappointed. It looks like his kid. It looks like Daddy didn't get out. And that was all I could do with it. It was like, this is sad.
Daddy didn't get out.
But no, I think Karen. I figure if I do that, maybe she'll want to talk to Satan if Satan's around.
Satan's always around.
Anthony, you're supposed to type #awesome, not #unidentified.
Hey, I haven't slept, Hump.
Oh my! Don't you have a wrench? Can't you just grab the link to your show and just send it?
I can do that.
Drop one of those over on the Art of Floundering podcast, and I know the link has been getting dropped by Nightbot for that. You've got the Alex Jones story, which there are 3 episodes out.
Yeah.
There's going to be another one coming up on Tuesday. Those drop on Tuesdays. Get connected and watch those first 3 episodes. You want to understand
exactly
because
the diaper porn next week.
Diaper porn. It's freaking diaper porn. We have warned you for
you could be lost
a while now.
You could be lost.
Don't be one of those that misses out. Don't be one of those that's confused.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Make sure that you're caught up on the story and everything.
Yeah.
Scotty, peace and love.
Hey, Scotty, peace and love, brother.
Everybody, share everybody out. Be good to everybody. Love everybody. Don't be a jerk. Life's too short. Just spread peace and love. I will catch you later, everybody. Bye.